The Arquitens-class Light Cruiser, though smaller than many capital ships in both the Republic and Imperial fleets, exemplified the philosophy of adaptability and precision in starship design. Its weapons systems, carefully chosen and arranged, enabled it to perform a wide range of roles, from escort duties and patrols to providing fire support in larger fleet engagements. Unlike the massive warships designed for overwhelming firepower, the Arquitens-class relied on a combination of tactical flexibility and efficient firepower to establish itself as a reliable and versatile platform in galactic conflicts. The first configuration of the Arquitens-class was equipped with 4 turret-mounted twin-light turbo-laser batteries, strategically placed on the ship's dorsal side. These turbo-lasers offered a balance between firepower and agility, making them highly effective against smaller and more maneuverable enemy craft such as starfighters, corvettes, and frigates. The rotating turrets ensured a wide field of fire, allowing the cruiser to engage multiple targets or swiftly redirect its firepower in response to shifting combat scenarios. This design was particularly useful in escort missions, where rapid adjustments to counter swarms of enemy craft were essential for protecting larger ships or convoys. Positioned on the ship's port and starboard sides were heavy quad laser cannon batteries, with 2 on each side. These weapons specialized in close-quarters defense, providing devastating firepower against fast-approaching fighters or boarding craft. Their ability to unleash a rapid barrage of laser fire made them ideal for suppressing enemy forces in dogfights or fending off concentrated attacks. The placement of these cannons along the sides allowed the cruiser to maintain a near-continuous line of fire, creating a protective bubble of suppressive fire during intense engagements. This configuration proved invaluable when the Arquitens served as an escort for high-value targets, ensuring comprehensive protection against agile threats. Further enhancing its offensive capabilities, the cruiser featured 4 missile or torpedo launchers, typically armed with concussion missiles. These weapons provided the Arquitens-class with a means to strike decisively at larger or more heavily armored targets. Concussion missiles, known for their destructive power and shield-penetrating capabilities, could cripple enemy ships by delivering concentrated damage to critical systems. These launchers also added a layer of versatility, as they could be loaded with alternative payloads such as proton torpedoes, ion missiles, or other specialized munitions, depending on mission requirements. This adaptability made the Arquitens a valuable support vessel in fleet operations, capable of weakening enemy defenses for follow-up strikes by larger warships. The second configuration of the Arquitens class introduced a key upgrade: the addition of a ventral quad laser cannon mounted on the underside of the ship. This enhancement addressed a significant vulnerability in the original design: the lack of coverage on the cruiser's ventral side. By placing this cannon beneath the ship, designers ensured that the Arquitens could effectively defend against attacks from below, a tactic often employed by starfighters and boarding craft exploiting blind spots in its defense grid. This upgrade was particularly effective during close proximity skirmishes, where enemy ships might attempt to exploit angles not covered by the primary turbolasers or side-mounted cannons. The ventral cannon enhanced the ship's defensive capabilities, making it a more reliable choice for escort and patrol missions. It also allowed the cruiser to better serve as a fleet support vessel, guarding larger ships from threats in 3-dimensional space. This modification underscored the Arquitens class's ability to adapt to changing combat needs, reinforcing its reputation as a versatile and dependable platform. Despite this upgrade, the second configuration retained all the key armaments of the first, including the twin light turbolasers and missile torpedo launchers. This ensured that the cruiser's offensive and defensive balance remained intact while expanding its coverage and adaptability. The weapon systems of the Arquitens class were meticulously designed to suit its intended roles within the fleet. Its anti-starfighter capabilities, delivered through its light turbolasers and quad laser cannons, made it a formidable threat to swarms of small, fast-moving craft. This made the cruiser particularly effective during the Clone Wars, where the Republic often faced waves of separatist droid fighters. In larger fleet engagements, the Arquitens class excelled as a support vessel, using its turbolasers to harass smaller ships and its concussion missiles to target enemy capital ships at range. During escort missions, the Arquitens class acted as a shield for vulnerable transports and larger vessels, leveraging its heavy quad laser cannons to deter close-range attackers. Its ability to lay down suppressive fire across multiple arcs allowed it to neutralize threats from all directions, ensuring the safety of its charges. This versatility made the cruiser indispensable in situations where larger ships could not effectively engage smaller, agile foes. The cruiser's missile systems also gave it a strategic edge in hit-and-run operations. By deploying its concussion missiles to deliver quick, devastating strikes, the Arquitens could cripple enemy vessels before retreating to safety. This tactic was especially useful in outer rim skirmishes, where the ship often operated independently or in small task forces. Its ability to combine precision laser fire with high-impact missile strikes made it a force to be reckoned with in encounters with both larger ships and smaller, more numerous opponents. The Arquitens-class Light Cruiser's carefully balanced armament ensured its longevity in both the Republic Navy and the Imperial fleet. While larger ships such as the Venator-class Star Destroyer or the Imperial-class Star Destroyer dominated headlines and holovids, the Arquitens quietly proved its worth as a dependable workhorse. Its versatility allowed it to excel in a wide range of missions, from sector patrols and blockade support to frontline engagements and peacekeeping operations. Even as the Imperial fleet began to favor larger, more specialized ships, the Arquitens class continued to serve as a vital component of the Navy, particularly in outer rim territories where its adaptability and speed were invaluable. Its modular design and weapons loadout ensured that it remained relevant even as military doctrines evolved, cementing its place as one of the most iconic light cruisers in galactic history. In both the Republic and Imperial eras, the Arquitens-class Light Cruiser embodied the principle of doing more with less. Its efficient design and tactical weaponry made it a symbol of practicality and reliability in an era dominated by ever larger and more destructive warships. For countless crews who served aboard it, the Arquitens was more than just a vessel. It was a lifeline, a protector, and a weapon of precision and purpose in an often chaotic galaxy. The Arquitens-class Light Cruiser was renowned not only for its versatile armaments and tactical adaptability, but also for its sophisticated propulsion system, which provided the speed, maneuverability, and reliability essential for its diverse operational roles. At the heart of its design were its engines and hyperdrive systems, which enabled the cruiser to excel in missions spanning the depths of space and the skies of planetary atmospheres. The Arquitens class was powered by 3 Dyne 577 radial atomizer engines, meticulously engineered to deliver high acceleration and impressive top speeds. These engines, mounted at the aft of the cruiser, offered a perfect balance of power and efficiency. With a maximum acceleration of 1,800 g, the Arquitens class demonstrated remarkable speed, particularly for a light cruiser. This level of acceleration allowed the ship to engage in fast response missions, moving swiftly between systems to intercept threats, respond to emergencies, or join fleet actions in record time. In combat, the Dyne 577 engines gave the cruiser a distinct advantage. The ship's agility, combined with its relatively compact size, enabled it to perform complex maneuvers that larger capital ships could not replicate. It could close in on targets quickly, dodge incoming fire with precision, and reposition itself strategically during fleet engagements. This agility made the cruiser a formidable opponent in battles involving smaller, faster craft, such as starfighters or corvettes, while still maintaining the endurance to operate alongside larger ships in sustained engagements. Although primarily designed for space operations, the Arquitens class was fully capable of operating within planetary atmospheres. With a maximum atmospheric speed of 750 kilometers per hour, the cruiser could perform a range of roles during planetary campaigns. Its engines were specifically calibrated to maintain stable performance and maneuverability in atmospheric conditions, allowing the ship to provide close air support to ground forces during assaults or defend key installations and facilities. While the cruiser was not optimized for extended atmospheric engagements, its speed and mobility made it an invaluable asset in short-term operations. It could quickly deploy troops, deliver precision strikes with its onboard weaponry, and extract personnel or equipment when the situation demanded rapid action. This versatility ensured that the Arquitens class could seamlessly integrate into combined arms operations, supporting Imperial or Republic ground forces with coordinated space-to-surface tactics. Complementing its powerful sublight engines was the Arquitens class's robust hyperdrive system, a critical component for long-distance travel and rapid deployment across the galaxy. The ship was equipped with a Class II hyperdrive, which balanced speed and fuel efficiency. This allowed the cruiser to undertake missions that required swift interstellar travel, such as responding to distress calls, pursuing enemy ships across vast distances, or reinforcing fleet positions in ongoing conflicts. To enhance its resilience, the cruiser was also fitted with a Class 12 backup hyperdrive. While significantly slower than the primary system, this backup ensured that the ship could still escape dangerous situations or return to friendly territory if the main hyperdrive was compromised. This redundancy was particularly valuable given the cruiser's frequent deployment in isolated or hostile regions, where immediate fleet support was often unavailable. The inclusion of a backup hyperdrive underscored the designer's commitment to reliability and safety, ensuring that the vessel and its crew could survive even under adverse conditions. The combined capabilities of the Dyne 577 engines and the hyperdrive system allowed the Arquitens-class to fulfill a wide range of roles within both the Republic Navy during the Clone Wars and the Imperial Fleet during the Galactic Empire era. Its speed and maneuverability made it a natural choice for rapid response missions, where it could patrol remote sectors, intercept smugglers, or provide reinforcements to embattled forces. These same attributes also allowed it to function effectively as a command ship for smaller patrol fleets, coordinating operations across dispersed units and responding dynamically to emerging threats. In fleet actions, the cruiser's propulsion systems enabled it to keep pace with both faster scout vessels and larger capital ships, ensuring that it could operate cohesively within diverse battle formations. Whether acting as an interceptor, a flanking ship, or a support platform, the Arquitens-class's ability to move swiftly and efficiently was instrumental in its success. Its engines gave it the flexibility to reposition rapidly during combat, while its hyperdrive allowed it to pursue retreating enemies or escape from overwhelming opposition. The design of the Dyne 577 radial atomizer engines and the accompanying hyperdrive systems reflected the broader ethos of the Arquitens-class: adaptability, reliability, and efficiency. These propulsion systems were engineered not only to meet the demands of its immediate mission profiles, but also to anticipate the varied and unpredictable challenges of galactic warfare. The engine's durability and performance ensured that the cruiser could continue to operate effectively, even in harsh environments or prolonged campaigns, making it a dependable asset for both the Republic and the Empire. The propulsion systems also contributed significantly to the Arquitens-class's longevity and widespread deployment. Its ability to perform well across multiple environments, whether skimming through the vacuum of space or navigating the turbulent skies of a battlefield planet, made it a versatile platform that remained relevant even as military doctrines and technologies evolved. For countless pilots and crews, the engines of the Arquitens-class were more than just machinery. They were the lifeblood of a vessel that represented speed, strength, and resilience in the face of adversity. The Arquitens-class Light Cruiser exemplified a design philosophy rooted in functionality, adaptability, and tactical versatility, making it an invaluable asset in both the Republic Navy during the Clone Wars and the Imperial Navy that succeeded it. With its balanced dimensions, advanced systems, and robust construction, the Arquitens-class was a workhorse capable of fulfilling a broad spectrum of operational roles. Measuring 325 meters in length, with a beam of 135 meters and a height of 56 meters, the Arquitens-class Light Cruiser occupied a middle ground between smaller patrol ships and larger capital vessels. This compact size enabled the cruiser to operate effectively in environments where larger ships struggled, such as dense asteroid fields, narrow planetary canyons, and crowded orbital lanes. Its dimensions also lent themselves to versatility, allowing the ship to serve in a variety of missions, from fleet support to independent operations in remote sectors. Despite its relatively modest scale, the cruiser's design maximized internal space for critical systems, ensuring that every meter contributed to operational effectiveness. The hull of the Arquitens-class featured a streamlined, angular design that combined practicality with aesthetic intimidation, a hallmark of later Imperial engineering. This design minimized drag during atmospheric operations while presenting a clean, imposing silhouette in space, reinforcing the ship's role as both a combatant and a symbol of authority. At the core of the cruiser's operation was a high-output reactor, meticulously engineered to meet the ship's diverse energy requirements. The reactor distributed power across propulsion, weapons, shielding, and auxiliary systems, ensuring smooth operation even during intensive combat scenarios. This central power system was a linchpin of the Arquitens-class's ability to sustain prolonged engagements without performance degradation. The ship's layered energy shielding offered a robust defensive barrier capable of withstanding sustained enemy fire. Unlike shields on larger capital ships, which emphasized brute strength, the Arquitens-class's shields were optimized for endurance and adaptability, providing ample protection during skirmishes and prolonged patrols. This shielding system, combined with reinforced armor plating, ensured the cruiser could weather both energy-based and kinetic attacks. The armor was specifically designed to deflect or absorb the impacts of starfighter strafing runs, light turbo-laser blasts, and missile strikes, safeguarding critical systems housed within the hull. The hull incorporated 2 circular docking bays, strategically placed to facilitate rapid deployment of smaller craft. These bays allowed the Arquitens class to support operations involving troop transports, shuttlecraft, or starfighters, making it an effective hub for tactical coordination during planetary invasions or fleet engagements. The docking bays were also critical for logistical operations, enabling the ship to deliver supplies, evacuate personnel, or conduct rapid resupply missions when operating as part of a larger fleet. Equipped with a state-of-the-art navigation computer, the Arquitens class excelled in plotting and maintaining hyperspace routes with precision. This capability was crucial for a vessel often deployed in uncharted or hostile territories. The navigation system worked in tandem with the ship's medium-range sensor array, which provided reliable situational awareness over vast distances. These sensors allowed the crew to detect enemy movements, monitor friendly forces, and track environmental hazards, making the cruiser particularly effective in reconnaissance and patrol roles. The targeting systems aboard the Arquitens class were finely tuned to ensure combat accuracy, even during high-speed maneuvers. These systems enhanced the effectiveness of the ship's armaments, enabling it to deliver precise strikes against enemy vessels, whether engaging in fleet battles or repelling smaller, agile attackers. With a cargo capacity of 1,200 tons, the cruiser was capable of carrying a substantial amount of supplies, armament, and mission-specific equipment. This logistical flexibility allowed the Arquitens class to operate independently for extended periods, making it a reliable choice for missions in remote sectors or prolonged engagements far from fleet support. The ship's consumables were sufficient to sustain its crew for up to 3 months, underscoring its capacity for long-term deployment. The design also incorporated basic crew amenities, including sleeping quarters, dining facilities, and recreational areas, to maintain crew morale and efficiency during extended missions. This focus on crew welfare, while not luxurious, reflected the ship's role as a practical and dependable workhorse. The Arquitens-class Light Cruiser was designed to excel in a wide range of mission profiles. Its speed and maneuverability made it ideal for patrol and escort duties, where it could safeguard convoys, enforce blockades, or respond swiftly to emerging threats. In fleet engagements, the cruiser often served as a support vessel, using its weapons to complement the firepower of larger capital ships, or to intercept enemy starfighters and frigates. In addition to its combat roles, the cruiser's adaptability made it a valuable asset in diplomatic and enforcement missions, where its sleek yet imposing design helped project the authority of the Republic and later the Empire. Its ability to operate effectively in both space and atmospheric environments further enhanced its tactical utility, allowing it to provide close air support during ground campaigns or conduct planetary reconnaissance. The design of the Arquitens-class Light Cruiser encapsulated the priorities of the fleets it served: efficiency, resilience, and adaptability. Its blend of robust defensive systems, reliable propulsion, and versatile operational capabilities made it a mainstay in the Republic Navy's efforts during the Clone Wars, and later an integral part of the Imperial Navy's vast enforcement apparatus. The cruiser's enduring utility and widespread deployment cemented its reputation as one of the most versatile and reliable vessels of its era, a testament to the ingenuity and foresight of its designers. The Arquitens-class Light Cruiser relied on a compact yet highly skilled crew to achieve its operational objectives. This crew, numbering approximately 100 officers, enlisted personnel, and pilots, was carefully selected and trained to ensure efficiency and adaptability in various mission profiles. In addition, the cruiser could accommodate up to 100 passengers, expanding its versatility for troop transport, VIP escort, or special operations. The crew structure reflected a balance between functional specialization and coordinated teamwork, essential for maintaining high performance during reconnaissance, tactical support, frontline combat, and logistical operations. Each member of the Arquitens-class crew underwent rigorous training, often conducted at renowned institutions such as the Republic Naval Academies, Imperial Naval Academies, or the Kuat Drive Yards training facilities. These programs provided intensive education in individual roles and cooperative strategies, emphasizing the mastery of advanced systems and adaptability to changing conditions. Training focused on several key areas, including navigation, engineering, combat operations, and communications, ensuring that all crew members were equipped to handle the ship's sophisticated technology. Officers received additional instruction in leadership, tactical planning, and multi-theater coordination, preparing them to make decisive choices under pressure. Command of the Arquitens-class Light Cruiser fell to its captain, who typically held the rank of lieutenant commander or commander, depending on the specific mission or fleet configuration. As the ship's highest-ranking officer, the captain was responsible for setting strategic objectives, overseeing tactical execution, and maintaining the morale and welfare of the crew. This role required balancing immediate decision-making during engagements with alignment to broader fleet goals, often under challenging and high-pressure circumstances. The captain also acted as a liaison with fleet commanders or sector authorities, ensuring the cruiser's actions supported larger operational strategies. Supporting the captain was the executive officer, XO, whose primary responsibility was to oversee the cruiser's day-to-day operations. The XO managed crew schedules, training programs, and disciplinary actions, maintaining the ship's efficiency and readiness. Acting as the captain's second-in-command, the XO assumed command in their absence and provided critical support during high-stakes missions. This role was integral to the cruiser's smooth functioning, as it allowed the captain to focus on overarching strategies while the XO handled immediate operational concerns. The chief engineer played a pivotal role in maintaining the Arquitens-class's technological systems. This officer managed the ship's reactor, power distribution, propulsion systems, and auxiliary machinery, ensuring peak performance during both routine operations and combat scenarios. Supported by a team of skilled engineers and technicians, the chief engineer coordinated efforts to balance power across critical systems, including shields, weapons, and engines. This team was also responsible for repairing damage sustained in battle, implementing emergency protocols to preserve the ship's functionality in crisis situations. The weapons officer directed the operation of the Arquitens-class's arsenal, which included turbo-laser batteries, quad laser cannons, and missile launchers. Working closely with gunners and weapons technicians, this officer ensured that all weapons systems were calibrated for precision and readiness. During engagements, the weapons officer prioritized targets and coordinated firing solutions, maximizing the cruiser's offensive capabilities while adapting to the evolving conditions of battle. The navigation officer was tasked with plotting hyperspace routes and monitoring sublight travel. This role was vital to the cruiser's success, as it involved precise calculations to avoid hazards, optimize travel time, and position the ship advantageously in both space and atmospheric environments. Navigation officers worked closely with the captain to adjust routes and tactics based on real-time developments, ensuring the cruiser could respond effectively to any situation. The communications officer managed the ship's data exchange, overseeing secure transmissions and maintaining constant contact with allied forces and command structures. By encrypting communications and monitoring long-range signals, the communications officer ensured that the crew received timely updates and orders while protecting sensitive information from enemy interception. This role was particularly critical during coordinated fleet operations, where clear and secure communication was essential to success. Pilots aboard the Arquitens class were a specialized subset of the crew, responsible for operating auxiliary craft such as shuttles and gunships. Trained in both combat maneuvers and logistical transport, these pilots extended the cruiser's operational range by performing reconnaissance, troop deployment, and supply runs. Their expertise allowed the ship to support larger fleet actions or conduct independent missions in remote sectors. The efficiency of the Arquitens-class crew relied heavily on their ability to function as a cohesive unit. From the captain's leadership to the precision work of engineers, gunners, and pilots, every role was interconnected. The bridge team, consisting of the captain, executive officer, navigation officer, and communications officer, coordinated the ship's strategy and maintained situational awareness during operations. In combat scenarios, the weapons and engineering teams worked in tandem to ensure sustained firepower and resilience, while damage control crews addressed critical repairs under fire. Despite the cruiser's relatively small size, its crew was equipped to handle extended deployments. With a cargo capacity of 1,200 tons and provisions for up to 3 months of independent operation, the Arquitens-class was capable of long-term missions in isolated sectors or during protracted campaigns. Basic crew amenities, including sleeping quarters, dining facilities, and recreation areas, were designed to maintain morale and efficiency during these extended assignments. In conclusion, the Arquitens-class Light Cruiser's crew structure exemplified a model of precision, adaptability, and collaboration. Each member, from the commanding officers to the dedicated technicians and pilots, played a vital role in the ship's operational success. Through rigorous training and effective leadership, the crew ensured that the Arquitens-class remained a versatile and reliable asset in both the Republic and Imperial fleets, capable of meeting the demands of an ever-changing galactic battlefield. The Arquitens-class Light Cruiser was designed to serve as a versatile and adaptable platform, capable of carrying out a variety of roles through its complement of landing forces and a compact but effective air group. These assets gave the cruiser the ability to project power both in space and on planetary surfaces, making it invaluable in offensive strikes, defensive operations, and logistical support missions. The integration of ground troops, vehicles, and starfighters into its operational framework allowed the cruiser to function as a multi-role vessel, equipped to handle a range of tactical scenarios with efficiency and precision. With a passenger capacity of up to 100 troops, the Arquitens-class could deploy a modest but effective ground force for planetary operations. During the Clone Wars, these troops were often Republic clone troopers, renowned for their discipline and combat prowess. In the Imperial era, the cruiser carried stormtroopers, whose intimidating presence and role as enforcers of Imperial authority were key to maintaining control in contested or occupied territories. This complement of soldiers gave the Arquitens-class a tactical edge in securing objectives on hostile worlds, conducting occupation duties, or responding rapidly to emerging threats. To enhance the mobility and effectiveness of its ground forces, the cruiser was equipped with a variety of landing vehicles, including land speeders and ship's boats. Land speeders were particularly valuable for their versatility in traversing diverse terrains, whether urban battle zones, rugged wilderness, or open desert plains. Their speed and adaptability enabled troops to engage targets or secure positions with minimal delay, significantly extending the operational range of the deployed forces. Ship's boats, meanwhile, provided reliable transportation for larger loads, such as equipment, supplies, or additional personnel, ensuring that ground operations remained well supported and sustainable. The ability of the Arquitens-class to function as a mobile base of operations was one of its defining features. The ship could transport troops to a planetary surface, provide them with the necessary equipment and vehicles, and then offer ongoing support through close air cover, logistical resupply, or even evacuation if needed. This operational flexibility made the cruiser an ideal choice for missions requiring rapid deployment and sustained engagement. In addition to its ground forces, the Arquitens-class carried a compact air group, tailored to meet the cruiser's needs for both offensive and defensive operations. This air group typically included 3 TIE Fighter Series starfighters and 2 Lambda-class shuttles, each serving distinct and critical roles in the ship's mission capabilities. The TIE fighters were the backbone of the cruiser's defensive strategy, providing interception and patrol capabilities in space. These nimble craft were tasked with defending the cruiser from smaller, faster attackers, escorting shuttles, and maintaining air superiority over contested planetary zones. Despite their limited numbers, the TIE fighters were highly maneuverable and equipped with sufficient firepower to handle most threats from enemy starfighters. Their presence expanded the cruiser's defensive perimeter, allowing it to operate more confidently in hostile environments. The Lambda-class shuttles, on the other hand, were multi-purpose vehicles designed for troop transport, cargo hauling, and personnel movement. These shuttles were essential for deploying soldiers to planetary surfaces, carrying out resupply missions, or transferring high-ranking officials and dignitaries between vessels. With their heavy armor, robust shielding, and spacious interiors, Lambda shuttles could transport troops and supplies securely even in dangerous conditions. Their versatility made them a vital component of the cruiser's operational arsenal, enabling it to adapt to a wide array of logistical and tactical requirements. The combination of ground forces, vehicles, and starfighters aboard the Arquitens-class Light Cruiser reflected its purpose as a multi-role vessel. The integration of these elements allowed the ship to perform tasks that went beyond space combat. It could launch precision strikes, enforce planetary control, or serve as a forward operating base for larger campaigns. The cruiser's ability to support ground forces with air cover, logistical support, and rapid evacuation ensured its effectiveness in both offensive and defensive scenarios. In planetary engagements, the Arquitens-class excelled at deploying troops to secure strategic objectives, whether capturing key installations, suppressing local resistance, or fortifying positions during occupations. Its onboard vehicles and air support enhanced the effectiveness of these operations, allowing for rapid deployment, maneuverability, and sustained combat capabilities. The ship's modest air group provided critical support in contested zones, ensuring both the safety of its ground forces and the cruiser itself. As a versatile light cruiser, the Arquitens class often operated as part of larger fleets, where its ground and air capabilities complemented those of larger capital ships. However, it was equally effective in independent missions, particularly in regions where heavier ships were impractical. The cruiser's design and complement made it an ideal choice for enforcing Republic or Imperial authority in frontier systems, responding to pirate activity, or supporting planetary governors in maintaining order. The Arquitens class's ability to operate autonomously for extended periods, combined with its capacity to carry troops, vehicles, and starfighters, ensured it remained a valuable asset across various theaters of operation. Whether projecting force on the front lines, patrolling contested systems, or providing critical support in larger campaigns, the cruiser's versatility and well-rounded capabilities made it a cornerstone of the Republic and later Imperial fleets. The Arquitens-class Light Cruiser, a product of the esteemed Kuat drive yards, stands as a prime example of the shipyard's mastery in shipbuilding and its pivotal role in the military operations of both the Galactic Republic and the Galactic Empire. Kuat drive yards, one of the most prolific and respected shipbuilders in the galaxy, had already earned a reputation for producing some of the most formidable warships, including the iconic Venator-class Star Destroyer. The Arquitens-class cruiser was conceived to fill a vital niche within these fleets, designed to be a versatile and cost-effective vessel that could perform a wide variety of roles without the high costs associated with larger capital ships. The Arquitens-class Light Cruiser was crafted to be a workhorse, versatile in its design yet powerful enough to withstand the rigors of frontline military service. With a price tag of approximately 4 million credits, the Arquitens was far more affordable than its larger counterparts, such as the Venator-class or Imperial-class Star Destroyers. Its relatively low cost allowed for mass production without overburdening the resources of the Republic or Empire, providing the fleet with a steady supply of capable vessels that could perform a multitude of tasks. This made the Arquitens class a popular choice for a variety of operations, from patrol and escort duties to command and control in both space and planetary environments. Produced in the Kuat system, known for its impressive shipyards and advanced engineering capabilities, the Arquitens class benefited from the infrastructure and logistical expertise of Kuat drive yards. The shipyards were renowned for their ability to manage large-scale production while adhering to the highest quality standards. Raw materials like reinforced hull plating, advanced shielding components, and durable reactor technology were sourced through an extensive network of suppliers across the galaxy, ensuring that the Arquitens class was built with the most resilient materials available. Additionally, the Dyne 577 radial atomizer engines, known for their efficiency and power, were produced in parallel with other essential components, such as advanced targeting systems and navigation arrays, ensuring that each cruiser was equipped with the best technology available at the time. Kuwat's ability to rapidly scale up production of these cruisers was critical to their success. As the Republic transitioned into the Galactic Empire, the demand for these cruisers skyrocketed, particularly as the Empire sought to tighten its grip on the galaxy. Kuwat drive yards quickly adapted, leveraging its established production facilities and experienced workforce to churn out Arquitens-class cruisers at an unprecedented pace. These vessels, with their cost-effective design and versatile capabilities, became the backbone of the Imperial fleet, allowing the Empire to exert control over its vast territories with greater efficiency and speed. The strategic value of the Arquitens-class Light Cruiser was amplified by its versatility. It was designed to operate effectively in a variety of missions, ranging from fleet support to planetary control operations. With its modest but capable landing capacity, it could deploy ground forces, making it a critical asset for planetary invasions, occupation forces, or reconnaissance missions. While larger capital ships like the Venator or Imperial-class Star Destroyers were often too cumbersome to operate efficiently in these roles, the Arquitens-class could quickly and effectively move across a variety of environments, whether navigating dense asteroid fields, responding to emerging threats, or executing precision operations. Despite its relatively compact frame, measuring 325 meters in length, the Arquitens-class had an impressive combat effectiveness, blending speed, maneuverability, and firepower. Its ability to rapidly deploy forces and conduct tactical operations made it a vital tool for the Imperial Navy, which relied on the Arquitens-class to enforce its will across systems and engage in security operations. Whether providing escort for larger ships, enforcing blockades, or assisting in planetary combat, the cruiser's multi-role design allowed it to seamlessly transition between duties, filling gaps in the fleet and contributing to the Empire's strategic goals. Behind the scenes, maintaining the Arquitens-class cruiser was a highly organized operation. The Empire relied on an extensive network of maintenance facilities and repair stations to ensure that the cruisers were kept in peak condition. Kuwat drive yards, leveraging its infrastructure, provided continuous support for the Arquitens-class fleet, ensuring that the ships were regularly serviced and quickly repaired after combat operations. Specialized parts, such as the Dyne 577 engines, targeting systems, and even unique shield generators, were produced and shipped to Imperial sectors to maintain a constant flow of replacement parts. The logistical effort required for the operation of the Arquitens-class was not limited to its physical construction and maintenance. The Empire needed a steady stream of trained personnel, including engineers, pilots, and gunnery crews, to operate and service these vessels. This demand led to the creation of specialized training facilities and education programs, often held at the same Kuwat drive yards facilities or within Imperial training academies across the galaxy. The ability of the Empire to sustain and support the Arquitens-class through these logistical chains ensured that the ship could operate for extended periods, often without the need for resupply or major downtime. The legacy of the Arquitens-class cruiser lies in its role as a cost-effective yet highly capable vessel that filled a critical gap in the military strategies of both the Republic and the Empire. With its low production cost, operational versatility, and quick deployment capabilities, the Arquitens-class became one of the most important ships in the Imperial fleet, second only to the larger, more expensive warships. Its legacy is a testament to the ingenuity of Kuwat drive yards, which was able to respond rapidly to the demands of a changing galaxy, delivering a vessel that could both support ground operations and maintain naval superiority. The Arquitens-class Light Cruiser's ability to perform such a wide range of duties made it a cornerstone of the Imperial Navy, with a reputation for reliability, efficiency, and endurance. As the Empire expanded across the galaxy, the Arquitens-class was there, ensuring that Imperial forces could swiftly respond to any threat, control star systems, and maintain a foothold in the most contested corners of space. Its service continued for decades, and it remains one of the most iconic vessels of the Kuwat drive yards legacy, symbolizing both the practicality and power of Imperial shipbuilding. The Arquitens-class Light Cruiser is renowned not only for its impressive combat survivability, but also for its ability to adapt to various roles within the Republic and Imperial fleets. Over the course of its service, this vessel has proven its effectiveness in direct engagements, contributing significantly to its enduring legacy. Several factors in its design and operational capabilities make it one of the most reliable and battle-ready ships of its class, combining both offensive firepower and defensive strength while offering remarkable tactical flexibility. One of the foremost aspects of the Arquitens-class cruiser's survivability lies in its structural integrity. The cruiser's hull is built from advanced alloys designed to withstand substantial damage from a wide range of enemy weaponry, whether from conventional blaster fire, turbo lasers, or missile strikes. While the hull is not as heavily reinforced as that of larger capital ships, it provides a strong foundation for the ship's defensive systems, allowing the Arquitens to endure the punishment of sustained engagements. To further enhance this resilience, the ship is equipped with energy shielding, which acts as an additional layer of defense. The shields are designed to protect the vessel from both direct and sustained energy-based attacks, such as those from turbo lasers and ion cannons, which are standard in battles against larger, heavily armed ships. While the shield is robust, it is particularly effective against laser-based weapons, which form the bulk of enemy fire in fleet engagements. This combination of a reinforced hull and energy shields makes the Arquitens-class cruiser more than capable of withstanding prolonged battles. In terms of armament, the Arquitens-class features a varied and powerful arsenal. The ship is equipped with turret-mounted twin light turbo laser batteries, which provide versatile offensive capabilities. These turbo lasers are ideal for engaging a range of targets, from enemy starfighters to medium-sized vessels. The cruiser's heavy quad laser cannon batteries are designed to counter swarming enemy starfighters and smaller vessels, offering a constant and dependable line of defense. These weapons can engage multiple threats at once, ensuring the Arquitens is capable of maintaining control over its immediate surroundings. Additionally, the cruiser is outfitted with missile launchers, which allow it to execute long-range strikes against key enemy systems, such as shields, engines, or weapons arrays. The missiles serve as a means of delivering significant damage over greater distances, providing a way to neutralize threats before they can close in on the cruiser. This diverse range of weaponry ensures that the Arquitens class remains formidable against a broad spectrum of targets, making it an adaptable asset in any engagement. The Arquitens class cruiser is not just resilient, it is also highly tactical in its design. One of the key aspects of this vessel is its maneuverability, which sets it apart from slower, more cumbersome capital ships. The cruiser is equipped with advanced sensor systems that allow it to track and react to threats with exceptional speed and accuracy. These sensors enable the Arquitens to detect incoming attacks and threats far in advance, giving it a tactical advantage in engagements where situational awareness is key to survival. The cruiser's speed allows it to quickly reposition during combat, taking advantage of cover or swiftly evading incoming fire from larger ships. This agility allows the Arquitens to outmaneuver opponents that may rely more heavily on brute force and heavier weaponry, and instead strike with precision, exploiting weaknesses in enemy formations. Furthermore, the Arquitens class was designed to serve as a command platform, enabling fleet commanders to coordinate and execute larger strategic operations. This command functionality is one of the ship's most valuable features, particularly when operating as part of a larger fleet formation. The ability to oversee and manage multiple assets at once, coordinating strikes and defenses, allows the Arquitens to enhance its survivability and effectiveness by working in tandem with other vessels. As a command ship, the Arquitens class can serve not only as a frontline combat vessel but also as an operational hub, directing the flow of battle while also serving as a tactical point for the broader fleet. The deployment strategies for the Arquitens class reflect the vessel's versatility and tactical adaptability. Often deployed as part of larger flotillas, the Arquitens was a crucial component of Republic and Imperial forces throughout both the Clone Wars and the Galactic Civil War. These cruisers were often paired with larger, more heavily armed capital ships, such as the Venator-class Star Destroyer or the Imperial-class Star Destroyer, which allowed them to capitalize on the strengths of their speed and maneuverability while offering fire support to larger ships. This combined arms approach allowed the Arquitens class to engage a variety of targets, from enemy fighters to heavily fortified installations, while maintaining a flexible response to battlefield conditions. During the Clone Wars, the Arquitens class cruisers were often part of Republic flotillas that included Jedi starfighters and other Republic vessels, making them formidable assets in multi-layered attacks. In these formations, Arquitens-class ships operated as escorts, delivering quick strikes against enemy starfighters and capital ships alike, while coordinating the overall attack with Republic commanders. The doctrine of hit-and-run tactics, where the Arquitens would strike at vulnerable targets and retreat before the enemy could mount a decisive counterattack, made it a favorite of Republic commanders looking to weaken the enemy's overall position without taking unnecessary risks. In these engagements, the Arquitens class proved itself invaluable as a tactical strike vessel. As the Empire rose to power, the role of the Arquitens-class cruiser evolved to suit the needs of the Imperial fleet. Imperial doctrine placed a premium on maintaining order and control over vast territories, and the Arquitens was well suited to this task. Operating as both a command ship and a combat vessel, the Arquitens class was deployed to enforce Imperial law across the galaxy, participating in planetary occupation missions and anti-pirate operations. These cruisers were also often assigned to patrol critical systems, where their agility and versatility allowed them to respond quickly to any disturbance or threat to Imperial authority. Despite its many advantages, the Arquitens-class cruiser is not without its limitations. One of the most notable is its vulnerability when pitted against larger capital ships. The Arquitens is designed to operate effectively against smaller or medium-sized opponents, but its relatively light armor and firepower pale in comparison to the more heavily armed and armored Imperial-class Star Destroyer or Victory-class Star Destroyer. While the Arquitens class can evade attacks from larger ships through its superior speed and agility, it still struggles to go toe-to-toe with superior firepower. Furthermore, as military technology progressed, newer threats began to emerge that tested the Arquitens' defenses. The Rebel Alliance, for example, introduced more capable starfighter designs, such as the X-Wing and A-Wing starfighters, which were highly effective in dogfighting and interception operations. These newer ships, along with heavily armored bombers, presented a growing challenge for the Arquitens. The Arquitens-class cruiser had to adapt quickly, relying on advanced tactics and coordination with other vessels to stay relevant against these new threats. In conclusion, the Arquitens-class Light Cruiser stands as a prime example of tactical ingenuity and design excellence. With its resilient armor, versatile weaponry, and maneuverability, the cruiser proved its worth as both a frontline combatant and command ship. While the Arquitens faced challenges against larger, more heavily armed foes and increasingly sophisticated enemy technologies, it remained an indispensable asset in both the Republic and Imperial fleets. Through its long and storied service, the Arquitens class earned its place as a cornerstone of galactic military power, ensuring its place in the legacy of both the Republic and the Empire. The Arquitens-class Light Cruiser, originally designed as a versatile and relatively cost-effective warship for the Republic Navy during the Clone Wars, underwent a dramatic transformation under the Class 546 program, a strategic initiative aimed at improving existing fleet assets to meet the growing demands of the Imperial Navy. This overhaul was launched in response to the escalating threat posed by the Rebel Alliance and other insurgent groups, which required the Empire to adapt rapidly and enhance its naval capabilities. The Class 546 program marked a turning point in the development of the Arquitens class, elevating it from a simple cruiser to a formidable command vessel capable of leading Imperial forces into the most complex and high-stakes operations across the galaxy. The most immediate and significant change to the Arquitens class came in the form of its size and internal configuration. Originally built with more modest dimensions, the Class 546 version expanded the cruiser to a length of 381 meters, a width of 163 meters, and a height of 66 meters, a considerable increase from its previous specifications. This growth in size was necessary to accommodate a wide range of enhancements, including new weapon systems, larger crew quarters, and advanced command facilities that would allow the ship to function as a mobile operations center. The structural changes also provided more internal space for the installation of additional sensors, communications arrays, and defensive systems, making the ship far more capable of coordinating large-scale military operations. In order to support these expansions, the Class 546 cruisers were equipped with a vastly improved engine system. The upgraded propulsion system included 3 primary engines for main thrust and 4 secondary engines, significantly boosting the vessel's speed and maneuverability. This enhancement ensured that the cruiser could operate effectively in both combat zones and logistical operations, allowing it to reposition rapidly on the battlefield respond to emerging threats, or quickly withdraw from danger. The cruiser's superior speed also ensured that it could escort larger, slower ships, rapidly deploy to strategic locations, or act as a lead ship in naval formations. The Class 546 command cruiser underwent substantial upgrades to its weaponry, ensuring that it could not only serve as a command center, but also defend itself and project Imperial power effectively across the galaxy. A key feature of the upgrade was the installation of 4 dorsal and ventral quad turbolaser turrets, each capable of delivering highly accurate and devastating firepower. These turrets allowed the cruiser to engage both capital ships and ground targets with great effectiveness. The quad turbo lasers were optimized for delivering sustained damage, allowing the cruiser to neutralize smaller enemy vessels or provide fire support for larger Imperial forces. This formidable arsenal was complemented by a range of secondary weapon systems, including ion cannons and laser turrets, designed to disable enemy ships or provide close defense against swarming starfighters. The emphasis on offensive capabilities made the Class 546 command cruiser a powerful tool for maintaining Imperial dominance. Whether engaging in large fleet actions, bombarding planetary defenses, or executing surgical strikes against key rebel targets, the cruiser's ability to wield heavy firepower was crucial to its role as a central component of Imperial naval strategy. It was not just a command ship, but also a force to be reckoned with in any space battle or ground assault. One of the most striking features of the Class 546 cruiser was its significant enhancement in multi-role operational capabilities. Recognizing the need for rapid response forces and versatility in the face of various threats, the Class 546 command cruiser incorporated several features that would make it a central node in Imperial operations across multiple fronts. The cruiser's hangar bays were expanded to house at least 8 TILN space superiority starfighters, ensuring that the vessel could protect itself from enemy fighter screens and engage in dogfights when necessary. The TIE fighters also provided a critical screening force for larger Imperial assets, preventing enemy starfighters from closing in on more vulnerable vessels. The hangars were designed to support the rapid deployment and recovery of fighters, ensuring that the cruiser could remain operational during extended campaigns. In addition to its starfighter complement, the Class 546 also incorporated 2 Imperial transports, allowing for the rapid deployment of troops and equipment directly from the cruiser. These transports could be dispatched to support planetary ground operations, conduct raids, or evacuate personnel from contested areas. This adaptability ensured that the cruiser could operate effectively in multi-dimensional warfare, coordinating space, air, and ground elements in real time. Perhaps the most ambitious and groundbreaking aspect of the Class 546 modifications was its integration of advanced ground forces, including the Dark Trooper program. The cruiser was outfitted with a dedicated Dark Trooper bay, capable of housing a platoon of 3rd-generation Dark Troopers, highly advanced combat droids designed for heavy frontline assault operations. These droids were capable of engaging enemy forces with precision and lethality, making them a key asset in any operation that required quick and devastating strikes. The inclusion of the Dark Troopers within the cruiser's operational structure demonstrated the Empire's commitment to blending traditional military power with cutting-edge technological warfare, allowing for a seamless transition between space battles and ground assaults. In addition to the Dark Troopers, the cruiser housed a contingent of stormtroopers and Imperial starfighter pilots, ensuring that the vessel could function as a self-sufficient command hub during complex operations. This combination of elite soldiers, cutting-edge technology, and experienced officers made the Class 546 a highly capable and versatile asset that could adapt to any operational theater. In order to further enhance the Class 546's flexibility in combat, the ship incorporated advanced launch systems for the rapid deployment of both ground forces and starfighters. These systems included specialized launch tubes and deployment bays for transporting troops, vehicles, and starfighters quickly and efficiently to the battlefield. Whether launching ground assaults on enemy strongholds, dropping stormtroopers into hostile territories, or delivering surgical strikes via its complement of TIE fighters, the Class 546 was designed for speed and precision in all aspects of tactical warfare. These launch systems enabled the ship to project power across multiple battlefronts simultaneously, allowing the Empire to maintain a strategic advantage over rebel forces and other insurgent groups. The Class 546 program exemplified the Empire's commitment to maximizing the potential of its existing fleet. By retrofitting the Arquitens-class light cruisers into command vessels, the Empire was able to produce a versatile and highly effective warship that could serve multiple roles within its broader military structure. These upgraded cruisers were capable of serving as command platforms, defensive fortresses, and offensive warships all in one, allowing the Imperial Navy to meet the diverse and evolving challenges posed by the Rebel Alliance and other galactic threats. Throughout the Galactic Civil War, the Class 546 command cruisers played a pivotal role in a wide variety of campaigns, from blockades to planetary invasions, often leading Imperial fleets into the heart of hostile territories. Their combination of advanced firepower, operational flexibility, and command functionality made them indispensable assets in the Empire's pursuit of galactic domination. The Class 546 command cruiser represents a significant evolution of the Arquitens-class Light Cruiser, transforming it from a modest but capable vessel into a formidable flagship for the Imperial Navy. Through the Class 546 program, the Empire was able to adapt its existing fleet to meet the complex demands of an evolving galactic conflict, ensuring the continued superiority of Imperial forces across the galaxy. The successful integration of advanced technology, expanded operational capabilities, and cutting-edge ground forces into the design of the Class 546 cruiser cemented its place as a crucial element of the Imperial war machine, securing its legacy as one of the most powerful command ships ever to sail the stars. The Arquitens-class Light Cruiser, originally developed for the Republic Navy, quickly became a cornerstone of the Grand Army of the Republic during the Clone Wars. Its inception, in the year 22 years before Battle of Yavin, saw it rushed into service as part of a broader effort to meet the overwhelming demands of the war. The light cruiser's versatile design made it an ideal addition to the Republic's fleet, where it served not only in offensive operations but also in defensive and supportive roles throughout numerous key battles against the Confederacy of Independent Systems, CIS. One of the most notable early engagements involving the Arquitens class came during the Battle of Seleukami, where the cruiser Surrogator became a key asset in the Republic's strategic planning. In an effort to draw General Grievous into a trap, Jedi General Obi-Wan Kenobi deployed the Surrogator as a decoy, allowing the cruiser to absorb enemy fire while Kenobi's forces made a coordinated strike against Grievous's forces. The Surrogator met its fate in the ensuing close-quarters battle, demonstrating the cruiser's capacity for sacrifice in pursuit of the Republic's goals. Similarly, other Arquitens-class cruisers participated in several major conflicts, including the defense of Kamino. There, they supported Republic forces in repelling an assault led by General Grievous and Asajj Ventress, reinforcing the cruiser's reputation for resilience and agility under heavy fire. The cruiser's adaptability was further demonstrated during the Togruta slave crisis on the planet Kiros, when the cruiser Hand of Justice, under the command of Admiral Barton Coburn, played a pivotal role in the daring rescue mission led by Jedi Master Plo Koon. The cruiser's maneuverability and ability to perform covert operations allowed it to facilitate a successful infiltration and evacuation of the enslaved Togruta people from a processing facility on Kadavo. This event was a testament to the Arquitens class's versatility, as it was capable of supporting both planetary engagements and fleet coordination, and executing rescue missions in politically sensitive scenarios. As the Clone Wars wore on, Arquitens-class light cruisers continued to serve the Republic in numerous campaigns, with some vessels participating in prolonged battles like the Battle of Ringo Vinda. These engagements demonstrated the cruiser's tenacity and adaptability as they held their ground against heavy separatist forces. Despite the influx of new CIS technology and warships, the Arquitens-class cruisers consistently demonstrated their worth as reliable, multi-role vessels in the face of mounting threats. After the Republic's transformation into the Galactic Empire in 19 years before Battle of Yavin, the Arquitens-class light cruiser transitioned seamlessly into Imperial service. The Galactic Empire saw the utility of these ships and refashioned them as Imperial light cruisers, effectively incorporating them into the broader Imperial Navy as essential tools in the ongoing struggle against the Rebel Alliance and insurgent factions. In this new era, the Arquitens-class cruisers would continue to be vital components of the Imperial fleet, particularly in campaigns designed to suppress the growing threat of the rebellion. One of the more prominent Arquitens-class cruisers to serve in the early years of the Empire was the Thunder Wasp, commanded by Commander Alfred Chano. Under his leadership, this cruiser played a significant role in the Umbara campaign, assisting in a series of operations to pacify the planet. Notably, the Thunder Wasp became involved in a key mission, where it helped neutralize a critical Vulture droid transmission station. This operation underscored the Arquitens-class cruiser's role as both a command vessel and a combat ship, demonstrating its versatility in multifaceted missions that combined strategic leadership with direct action. In response to the growing rebel threat and the need for a more modernized fleet, the Imperial Navy initiated a service life extension program for the Arquitens-class cruisers, years prior to 4 years before Battle of Yavin. Recalled to the Kuat drive yards, these ships underwent extensive retrofitting, including upgraded weapon systems, enhanced maneuverability, and refined command facilities. The result was the Arquitens-class command cruiser, which retained the original ship's combat effectiveness, while adding new capabilities to function as a mobile operations platform. One such vessel, the Telstar, became a cornerstone in several Imperial operations during this period. Under the direction of Grand Moff Wilhuff Tarkin, the Telstar was deployed in a covert mission after the destruction of the Imperial Communications Center on Lothal. In this mission, the cruiser was tasked with capturing and relaying intelligence from surface courier droids. The operation, which involved the Spectres, a group of rebel operatives, highlighted the cruiser's command capabilities and the importance of intelligence operations in the galactic conflict. The mission's eventual failure underscored the ever-present tension between Imperial forces and the rebellion, as Lothal's rebels infiltrated the cruiser in a desperate bid to find Kanan Jarrus, a Jedi survivor. As the Galactic Civil War intensified, the Arquitens-class command cruisers continued to serve Imperial interests across the galaxy. During the blockade of Ubar, several cruisers, working in concert with Gozanti-class cruisers under the command of Imperial Security Bureau agent Alexander Callis, attempted to prevent Phoenix Squadron from delivering relief supplies to the starving inhabitants of the planet. The blockade initially proved successful, but was ultimately thwarted by the appearance of a prototype B-wing fighter, capable of penetrating the cruiser's defensive systems. This event exemplified the arms race between the Empire and Rebellion, with each side continually adapting their tactics and technology in an effort to gain the upper hand. The Arquitens-class cruisers continued to be deployed in high-risk operations throughout the Rebellion's expansion. During a mission to patrol Garrel, an Arquitens-class cruiser was dispatched to investigate a stolen shuttle, only to find it docked with the Shadow Caster, a vessel operated by the Lothal-based rebel Sabine Wren. In a clever ruse, Wren deceived the cruiser's crew, leading them to believe the shuttle was in distress, thus enabling her and her team to escape. The cruiser was heavily damaged in the process, highlighting the tactical ingenuity of rebel operatives. Throughout the final years of the Galactic Civil War, the Arquitens-class cruisers continued to serve as pivotal vessels in the Empire's struggle against the rebellion. Admiral Thrawn was instrumental in employing these cruisers during key skirmishes against the Phoenix Squadron and other rebel factions. Despite the technological advancements brought by the refits, the rebel ingenuity often outmaneuvered the cruisers, forcing the Empire to adapt to an ever-evolving conflict. In the years following the Battle of Endor and the Empire's downfall, the Arquitens-class cruisers continued to make appearances in several military engagements, though in fewer numbers. Some were involved in skirmishes on the Imperial world of Vardos, while others met their end in conflicts, such as a decisive clash on Takodana in 5 years after Battle of Yavin. Yet, even as the Empire's hold on the galaxy weakened, the legacy of the Arquitens class endured. The Class 546 model of the cruiser remained in active service under Moff Gideon, signaling that the Arquitens class would remain a lasting and evolving symbol of Imperial military power well into the post-Endor era. Through a legacy that spanned the rise and fall of the Republic and Empire, the Arquitens-class cruisers were not merely ships of war. They were a symbol of the ever-changing nature of galactic conflict and of the adaptability and resilience required to survive it. In the tumultuous aftermath of the Battle of Endor, as the Empire crumbled and the Emperor was slain, the Arquitens-class Light Cruiser remained a key asset within the fractured remnants of the once dominant Galactic Empire. The galaxy was in chaos, with power vacuums emerging as former Imperial factions splintered across the stars, leaving vast regions of space under the control of warlords and rogue Imperial officers. For these scattered and disorganized forces, the ability to retain any semblance of military strength was paramount, and the Arquitens-class cruiser became an essential vessel in the Imperial remnant's struggle to maintain order in the face of the New Republic's growing influence. As the Imperial remnant sought to preserve its crumbling territories, it relied heavily on its legacy vessels, with the Arquitens-class Light Cruiser at the forefront. Although the Empire had been defeated in a final decisive blow at Endor, many remnants of its fleets continued to operate across the galaxy. The Arquitens was ideally suited for this era of limited resources and strategic necessity. Serving primarily as command ships and support vessels, these cruisers were integrated into smaller, localized fleets under the leadership of Imperial warlords, acting as bridges for command in regions where traditional capital ships were scarce. Their multi-purpose capabilities, compact size, and cost-effectiveness made them indispensable during this period of fragmentation, where large fleets were no longer an option for most commanders. Despite the vast difference in scale between these fragmented Imperial forces and the New Republic's growing might, the Arquitens-class cruisers performed admirably in their new roles. With the galaxy's major shipyards crippled and resources stretched thin, the Arquitens-class became synonymous with efficiency and adaptability. The cruisers were often deployed in escort duties, patrol missions, and defensive operations, ensuring that Imperial interests in contested sectors remained protected from local insurgents, criminal organizations, and the sporadic remnants of the Rebel Alliance. Their quad laser cannons and turbo lasers, coupled with the deployment of TIE fighter squadrons, provided a balanced offense that allowed them to fend off smaller ships or rogue factions. The cruiser's agility also allowed it to evade larger, more formidable New Republic capital ships when necessary, maintaining its utility despite its relatively modest size. By the time the galaxy faced the threat of the Yuuzhan Vong invasion in 25 years after Battle of Yavin, the Arquitens class had undergone several upgrades to better suit the needs of the Imperial remnant's modernized fleet. The Yuuzhan Vong, with their aggressive extragalactic expansion and reliance on biotechnology, presented an entirely new form of warfare that challenged every known military strategy. These invaders brought with them a genetically engineered fleet that rendered traditional sensor technologies ineffective. To combat this, Imperial engineers retrofitted the Arquitens-class cruisers with specialized sensor suites and modified targeting systems, allowing them to track and detect the unique energy signatures of Yuuzhan Vong bioships and other organic technologies. This innovation marked a significant evolution in the Arquitens class's operational role, shifting it from its previous supportive functions to a more vital role in reconnaissance and intelligence gathering. During the early stages of the invasion, the Imperial remnant remained largely isolated, opting to safeguard its borders while observing the New Republic's struggles against the alien menace. However, as the Yuuzhan Vong grew bolder, conquering entire planets and ecosystems, the Imperial remnant recognized the need to ally with the New Republic for mutual survival. Joint operations between Imperial and New Republic fleets soon became commonplace, and the Arquitens-class cruisers played a crucial part in these allied missions. Deployed in forward reconnaissance roles, the cruisers' advanced sensors and heightened combat agility made them valuable assets in tracking and relaying information about the enemy's movements, providing critical data to the larger capital ships positioned further back in the formation. Their small size allowed them to operate in dangerous proximity to the Yuuzhan Vong forces, providing real-time intelligence on enemy fleet compositions and combat tactics, while also evading direct engagement with the larger, more destructive Yuuzhan Vong warships. The Arquitens-class cruisers' contributions were not limited to intelligence gathering. In major battles like the Battle of Ithor and the Battle of Borleus, Imperial and New Republic forces fought side by side, coordinating strikes against the overwhelming Yuuzhan Vong forces. Arquitens-class cruisers played a pivotal role in these operations, leveraging their versatility to coordinate fighter strikes, capital ship movements, and defensive actions. Their small size and high maneuverability enabled them to serve as the perfect command platform for such operations, directing TIE fighter squadrons and guiding capital ships in response to enemy advances. This role was particularly important in the face of the Yuuzhan Vong's adaptive combat techniques, which often left conventional military strategies obsolete. The combined fleets of the New Republic and the Imperial remnant made up a versatile and layered defense against the bioorganic onslaught of the Yuzhan Vong. In many engagements, the Arquitens-class cruisers were grouped together with Nebulon B frigates, CR-90 corvettes, and Dreadnought-class heavy cruisers, creating a dynamic defensive formation that could counter the smaller, agile Vong vessels, while protecting the more vulnerable larger ships. These Arquitens cruisers would often take on the responsibility of screening larger ships, intercepting coral skipper swarms, and engaging smaller Yuzhan Vong ships that attempted to break through the lines. Working in tandem with TIE fighter squads, the cruisers often coordinated precision strikes to disable or destroy key Yuzhan Vong vessels that posed the greatest threats to the larger warships of both factions. Even after the defeat of the Yuzhan Vong, the galaxy remained scarred by the years of relentless conflict. The Imperial remnant, now focused on rebuilding and consolidating its power, retained the Arquitens-class cruisers within its fleet. These ships, having proven their worth in the Clone Wars, Galactic Civil War, and the Yuzhan Vong invasion, continued to serve as symbols of endurance and adaptability. Their cost efficiency and ability to adapt to shifting strategic demands made them highly valued in the post-war Imperial fleet, where resources remained scarce and every asset needed to prove its worth. By the time the galaxy entered an uneasy peace following the Yuzhan Vong's defeat, the Arquitens-class Light Cruiser had firmly established itself as one of the most enduring and versatile designs in galactic military history. Having served through the Republic's rise and fall, the Empire's zenith, and the struggles of the Imperial remnant, the cruiser stood as a symbol of resilience in the face of ever-shifting threats. In the fractured galaxy, the Arquitens-class cruiser embodied the pragmatism and resourcefulness necessary for survival, ensuring its place as an invaluable asset in the Imperial fleet for many years to come.